What's up, beauties? You're tuning in to the Clean Beauty Podcast, hosted by celebrity makeup artist Cassandra McClure. You may have attended one of her Clean Beauty conferences or subscribed to the Clean Beauty Kit, her lifestyle subscription box. However you got here, welcome. Join us each week to learn about all things clean beauty. Let us know where you're listening from by tagging @Clean Beauty Podcast. Check us out anytime at cleanbeautypodcast.com to learn more.
Started the company technically in, I guess, January 2010. So we've been around for a while, but it's taken a very long time to get things organized. There's a lot of, I spent the first 5 years pretty much by myself doing all the research because I didn't come with a science background, and everything I was reading about algae, which was very scientifically documented, seemed crazy to me that it would be so amazing, and yet nobody seemed to know about it. So I wasn't sure that I could trust what I was reading until I spent 4 years reading it. Once I was convinced and saw all the science, then I started pulling it together and building websites and writing material and all that sort of stuff. So it's just taken a long time. And I design all the packaging too. And the first couple of versions weren't terribly exciting, but I've just redesigned everything, and it's people seem to be really responding. And the idea is to let people see that the packaging is as beautiful on the outside as what the algae does for you on the inside. So
That's awesome.
So takes a while to get it right.
You guys were on Shark Tank, right?
Yes, I was. Yes. Yeah, that was about 3 years ago. They've aired my segment about 20 times, so I'm happy to continue getting visibility, and people recognize me wherever I go. I think it's the glasses. And I only went on there because so many people had said I should go on it, and I didn't know anybody. I didn't do anything fancy. I just filled out the forms, and they do require a lot of material. It's almost a full-time job getting on there. And they didn't invest. I knew they wouldn't, but I got on the show and I got aired, and that's all I really cared about. So it was fun. It was a good experience, a lot of work, but it was great.
Was it more like outreach on your part, or did they reach out to you?
Oh no, I had applied. No, they wouldn't. They don't ever reach out to anybody, not that I'm aware of. I just found the website, filled out the form, sent in lots of material. The material they ask for is crazy. Understandably, they need to know all your financials and your projections and the samples and your history, and you have to send videos. I had interviews every week for 6 weeks. It's really a lot of work. They say it's harder to get on Shark Tank now than it is to get on into Harvard, and 40,000 companies apply every year. So I was very grateful to be selected and aired.
Yeah, that's really cool. I made it to the stage 2 where we started doing like all the interviews and everything, but
yeah,
they reached out to me for
oh really?
So yeah, like one of the producers called me. I thought it was like a prank call because I was like, what? I just like started this company. Like I don't know. I didn't fill out any application or anything, so I was like shocked. Like I sent it to like my fiance who's in tech and like all of his friends, like to see like what they thought, and they were like, go for it. So I was like, okay, let's do it. So then they were like, send us a video. So like I hired a production team and like did a professional video and all of that. So super interesting to hear from other people who like made it on the show and everything. That's super cool. So that's actually how I think I found out about you guys, because I was like watching all of their shows, like past episodes, past, guests and stuff. And I was like, ooh, this is cool, because there wasn't a lot in beauty, and they, I think, are trying to get more into it because it's like obviously such a great industry to be in and to have on their show. So from that, like, did a lot of doors obviously open for you, and is that when you started to get into sort of retailers? Or
no, it had virtually no impact. It's really interesting. And I didn't know we were going to spend a lot of time talking about Shark Tank. It was almost a non-event for me. We thought we would get a lot of sales. We didn't. We thought it would make a big impact helping us with retail. It didn't. I do much better with podcasters whose audiences have a serious interest in wellness. The people that are watching Shark Tank tend to be armchair either entrepreneurs and obviously they're consumers. And I don't even know whether, it's getting into retail is a completely, it's not about being on Shark Tank. It's about, do you have a good product? Do you have good margins? Do you have packaging? Do you have a story? Will you be able to sell? Can you meet your orders? It's a whole different dialogue. And right now with retail being under such strains, retail is not where people want to be right now. So it's, and I chose not to be at retail initially because we wanted to go to retail when we were ready. We haven't been ready until now. We have a beautiful all new packaging. People are starting to finally realize the importance of their health and looking to things like algae to do that, and to obviously their skin. But the timing wasn't right for us. And I own the company. I don't have investors. I turn them down. I don't need to meet certain sales goals. So I'm quite happy to be growing slowly because people will discover what we have is pretty amazing when they're ready, and when we're ready for them.
Absolutely. So to talk more about the actual product, so like when people see that it's a supplement, what do you say to those people that aren't really into taking any like oral supplements?
Okay, well, that's a really good jumping off point, because the first thing I always do is help people understand that algae is not a supplement. Algae is a food. It's no different than kale or broccoli. And I have a picture here I'm going to show you. I don't know if you can see that. That's a spirulina farm. And I tell people, well, show me a supplement farm. Supplements are made in factories with artificial ingredients or extracts and high heat. And none of that, those extracts don't exist in nature. And so that's why your body doesn't absorb them very well. All the people in the supplements industry know that about 5% of whatever you take in a supplement gets into your body. The rest of it you just pee out. That's why the numbers are so high on those bottles. But when you take food, it doesn't matter whether it's broccoli or kale, that comes from nature, and we're from nature, and algae is from nature. And so the nutrients in algae are 99% bioavailable, just like they are from food. And so it's really important to me for people to understand that algae isn't a supplement. Although interestingly, virtually all companies that sell algae have a supplement nutrition chart on the back. They don't even understand it. And that's why I'm doing what I'm doing, is because even the companies that sell algae, they don't even understand algae. It's clear to me because they wouldn't put a supplement panel on the back, because it's not a supplement. And also all the algae that's been available on the marketplace up until now has been usually from China, very low quality, might as well have toxins in it because they don't do third-party lab tests like we do. So there was a big need for a company like mine to deliver a product that was, pure and safe and third-party lab tested. We sell only through either our website or through doctors, nutritionists. We're now selling through spas, but these are people that are professionals, and they need what's called physician grade, really high quality products. So you won't find us at GNC. I have no desire to be sold in GNC. Eventually we will be in some of the larger retailers, but not until the time is right. And right now we're quite happy to be focused on sort of the functional medicine practitioner community, because their patients trust them to find the best. And that's what we pride ourselves on, being the best.
Awesome. So what, for our listeners that are tuning in, how would you describe this product if it's not a supplement?
Well, there's two reasons why people are getting sick, and that includes having acne or any kind of skin irritation. It includes cancer, it includes COVID. It comes down to two reasons. One is that you are not getting the nutrients that your body needs to perform optimally. And two, you have too many toxins in you. That's 99% of why people are ill. And so algae is the answer for both of those things. Even if you are eating organic food, like greens and all that sort of stuff, the crops that are harvested these days do not have the nutrition that they had 50 years ago. The soils are overcropped. They don't have any minerals left in them. So even when you eat, when the plants are growing, there's no minerals for them to pull up from the soil, or they're grown far, far away in Costa Rica or Mexico, and they're harvested before they're ripened, and they're bred, even like fruit, to be extra sweet. So you're getting calories and you're getting fiber, but you aren't getting nutrition. Algae is the most nutrient dense food in the world. The United Nations says it's the answer to world hunger because it has 3 times the amount of protein as steak. By the way, if you're, for the skin community, your skin is collagen and also elastin, and you need protein to support those. And algae has the highest concentration of protein. Ours is 64% protein. And algae is also the most nutrient dense. We have a quote from NASA that says 1 gram of algae has the same nutrition as 1,000 grams of fruits and vegetables. And I read that 97% of Americans do not eat enough fiber on a daily basis. And so they're not getting the green nutrition that they need. And each one of these little tablets, this is what our little tablets, we call them bits because they're bits of food. Each one of these has the same nutrition as a heaping plate of vegetables. Massive. So, and people aren't eating vegetables or salads because they're too heavy to carry from the grocery store. They take too much room in your fridge. They take too long to clean, to cook, to eat. So I just had the equivalent of a plate of vegetables right now while I'm talking to you. So I found from teaching nutrition that everybody knows they should eat more vegetables. And even if they are eating vegetables, they aren't getting the nutrients they need. And it's just too much work, or their kids won't eat them, or their husbands won't eat them. And so algae is the solution for that, for the nutrition. And I do want to talk about the 2 types of algae, but it doesn't matter which one you are using. They both give you the nutrition. And on the toxin side.
Did you just chew it? Are you
chewing?
Oh, you're supposed to chew it?
Well, you can chew, it's food, right? So there's 2 types, and we'll talk about those. Spirulina is the one that has the 6th highest protein in the world and loaded with essential fatty acids like omega-3. It's really chewy and very earthy flavor. So a lot of people don't like the flavor, so they swallow it. But the other one, which is frankly my favorite, it's called chlorella. That's a package of it. We have it in boxes too. It tastes like a soy nut or a sunflower seed, and I eat them with sea salt and almonds. I eat like about 100 a day. I love them.
Wait, so you're not just supposed to take like 1 or 2 a day? No,
you need at least minimum 4 or 5. 10 or 15 is better. Even more is better. I have, like I say, about 100. Depends on what you want to do with them. We have a dosage chart on our website. If you're looking for energy, you get up in the morning, the spirulina, because it has so much protein and B vitamins, it gives you energy, which is why we call it ENERGYbits. We also have a version of spirulina we call beauty bits because it builds your skin and hair. So you get up in the morning, you want to get out to maybe a run or do whatever you want to do for the day. You take 5 or 10 of these, swallow them if you want to. And within minutes, your hunger is gone. You have some focus, you have energy, and it was for 1 calorie each. So you can be nourished and full and energized for 5 or 10 calories. I mean, seriously. And it didn't take you any time to prepare them. It's just, it doesn't get any simpler. So that's why we tell people to have spirulina in the morning, because it gives them energy. And whenever you're tired or hungry, I just had a handful before doing this because I've been very busy, back-to-back appointments. So that's, and I do want to go into better detail about spirulina and why it's separate from chlorella. And the one I was taking, chlorella, which we call ENERGYbits, it pulls out toxins and builds your immune system. And it pulls out things like calcium from soft tissue and moves it into your bones. And seriously, I love it. I just love them. But for immune support, you would probably need 5 or 10 a day. If you're going to do a detox, you pretty much need closer to 20 or 30. And because they taste delicious, it's not a hardship. You put some sea salt on them and have them with almonds or macadamias, and it's your snack. It's a perfect snack. Most people take them at night before they go to bed because your body goes for detox when you're sleeping. And so if you take the chlorella while you're sleeping, it'll pull out the toxins from your brain, from your organs, help you with repair. But it depends on what you need them for. We work with NHL teams, and they put 75 spirulina in their smoothie before a game, and they put 75 chlorella in their smoothie after the game. The pre-game gives them energy on the ice. The post-game pulls out the lactic acid so their muscles aren't sore. So it's pretty amazing stuff, but it's definitely a food that you can swallow or chew.
So do some people, or do you recommend or not recommend for people to take these as like a meal replacement?
Take them what, I'm sorry?
As a meal replacement?
Well, only the spirulina. I think I'd like to back up if we could to go through a little bit more structured explanation about what algae is, because if we bounce around without telling people what exactly it is, it's kind of hard for them to visualize which one works for different things. So as I mentioned, algae, because you wouldn't take chlorella for hunger because it doesn't satisfy your hunger. So it wouldn't be a meal replacement, but spirulina is. So algae is a food category. You have fruits and you have vegetables, and algae is its own food category. Within algae as a category, you have macroalgae. That's things like seaweed, also known as dulse or kelp. That's the big stringy stuff that washes up on shore, right? It has lots of fiber and lots of iodine, not a lot of nutrition, but that's macroalgae. What we're talking about is called microalgae. It's microscopic in size. It's so tiny that you can't see it. And about 1,000 cells of microalgae would fit on the head of a pin. That's how tiny it is. And it's everywhere. It's in the oceans, the lakes, the rivers, the streams, the soil, your swimming pool, your aquarium. But those are all wild algae, and there are thousands of strains of them. Those are all toxic to humans. The only two that you want to eat are the two that we sell and that are basically sold in stores, and that's spirulina and chlorella. And they are not grown in the ocean. They are grown in fresh water, which is called hydroponically, just like other vegetables, lettuce, tomatoes. So it's, as I said, it's a crop. Now, spirulina and chlorella are completely different, and you use them for different reasons and at different times of the day. So the spirulina is the one that has the highest protein in the world, 3 times the amount as steak. And it's loaded with essential fatty acids, and it has very high amount of B vitamins that cause the aminos to go to release energy. And it has things like boron, which helps with your thought. Anyways, it's an energizing algae, and it satisfies your hunger. So if you're looking for a meal replacement, spirulina, which we have 2 brands, is either ENERGYbits or ENERGYbits. They're exactly the same. They're just branded differently. That would be a great meal replacement. It's fantastic if you're, a model and you're just busy and you're in between meetings, or you're stuck in traffic and you didn't have a chance to eat. You just pop 5 or 10 of these down, swallow them with water or whatever you've got. And now you won't get lightning bolts of energy because it's just from nutrition. There's no stimulants, there's no caffeine, chemicals, or sugar. It's just from nutrition. But what you will find is that you just feel more alert. You feel very fresh. You feel like you had a great night's sleep, and you just don't fatigue, or you don't get hungry. You could live on this forever because it has such a blend of nutrients, 40 vitamins and minerals. And in fact, the nutritional profile is almost identical to mother's breast milk, and I'm the one that discovered that. So spirulina, which we call either ENERGYbits or ENERGYbits, is a great meal replacement. It's a great snack. If you have kids, this is great for them to take before their soccer game. If you're going to go work out, you're going to go for a run, the great just to take a handful, and you can never have too many, because remember, it's like eating a salad, except it's supercharged. That's why they call it a superfood. So that's spirulina, and there's no actual cellulose wall. It's technically a bacteria, so it gets into your bloodstream very, very quickly. When we first started, we were actually a sports nutrition company because the runners and the triathletes and the Olympic athletes found out about us, and it gave them energy and focus, and it didn't upset their stomach. So that's spirulina. Take during the day, anytime you're hungry, fatigued, tired, or just want to maintain your weight. Chlorella is a green algae that's a wellness algae. Spirulina has the highest protein in the world. Chlorella has the highest chlorophyll in the world. Chlorophyll is what cleanses your blood. It builds your immune system. And up until World War I, they used to use chlorella or chlorophyll when people were injured if they ran out of blood transfusions. And here's a picture why. I don't know if you can see this. This is compares the blood composition of your blood cell with chlorophyll. They're absolutely identical, except chlorophyll has magnesium in the middle and your blood has iron in the middle. So during World War I, they used to give the injured liquid chlorophyll because they would heal just as fast. Chlorophyll is a fat-based pigment, so it heals your cell walls, keeps them healthy so nutrients can get in and toxins can get out. That includes toxins in your skin, in your hair, anywhere. So chlorophyll is very cleansing and very healing. So, and there's nothing in the world with more chlorophyll than chlorella. Chlorella has 1,000 times more chlorophyll than Chinese greens, 200 times more than spinach. It's unbelievable. And chlorella also has this hard cell wall that attaches to toxins, lead, mercury, radiation. You know, again, your aging, your organ problems, your health issues are also partly because of the toxins that are in our body. And chlorella has been used for decades for removing toxins. The United Nations used it at Chernobyl to pull out radiation. We work with biological dentists who use it to pull out mercury when they pull out people's amalgams, their fillings. And we use it with, and athletes love it for pulling out lactic acid. Oh, you'll love this. It also attaches to alcohol. So if you have wine or beer or anything, after you finish drinking, take some chlorella, which is we call ENERGYbits, and you will be sober in an hour and a half and you will never have a hangover. So chlorella is very much a wellness, healing health algae, helps you recover from your day, which is why we called it ENERGYbits. So people take it at night. So you take the spirulina in the morning and the afternoon for your energy, and then you take the chlorella ENERGYbits at night to recover from the day. And it's great for longevity. It has the highest RNA and DNA in the world and lots of other nutrients. So you can see that they're quite different and they do completely different things in your body.
That's so interesting that you can't like get enough. Like there's no like overdose. Like you can overdose on water, but it just sounds like you can just eat however many of these and be.
Yeah, well, I don't know too many people that would eat more than half a. Most people on average would take 10 to 20 a day, but you could take less. I mean, we have people who have been very anemic and they've only had 2 spirulina and would text us or write us and say they had the best workout of their life. Now, again, it's just food. So, but I will tell you, because of the high chlorophyll, if you start getting into the higher numbers, like 20 or 30 or 40, like I do, your poop will be a little green because of the chlorophyll, which is very cleansing. It cleanses out your liver and everything else in your body. But other than that, you intuitively will start craving them because your body knows how good this is. By the way, pets love them too. So anybody who's listening, if you have cats or dogs, they're going to love this stuff because they know what's good for them. We had a funny story. I had someone working with me and she had a small lap dog and she used to give the dog some of the tablets, and she got a new bag. Now, one of the bags has 1,000 tablets in it. This little tiny dog found a way to jump up onto the counter where she left the brand new bag. He ripped the bag open and ate the entire bag. So it's a tiny little dog eating 1,000 tablets. And she called me horrified because she thought he would die. And I said, no, he'll just throw up and poop a little bit. And he did, and he was fine. So even a small, tiny dog eating 1,000 tablets, which normally would last like 3 months for somebody, wow, was fine eating that many. So it's just very nutrient dense food.
Got it. So interesting. So it doesn't sound like there's a downside to this. It doesn't sound like there's any withdrawals.
There's no contraindications for spirulina of any kind. I will say that chlorella, because it's a detoxing algae, there's 2 things to be aware of. You may, not necessarily will, but you may have some detox symptoms. That would happen with whatever method you used for detox, whether it was activated charcoal or fasting. And sometimes that turns into breakouts, headaches, stomach distress. It only lasts while the toxins are being pulled out of your cells and they're on their way out, but they circulate through your bloodstream on the way out. So it could last a couple of days, it could last 10 days. But let's bet those toxins out, just go through a brief period to get rid of them, then have them sit there and damaging your cells quietly. So that's one thing. Just be aware you may have some detox. Number two, because the algae identifies things that are toxic, and because medications sometimes, very often, are made with things like aluminum, like vaccines, we just suggest you take the chlorella 2 hours before or after any medication, just in case it identifies the medication as a toxin. We don't want to interfere with anything that you're supposed to be taking. So that's just sort of a safety precaution. I don't have any science that says that happens, but we're just trying to be cautious with people. Okay. But it doesn't happen with spirulina.
So how would you know the difference? You take ENERGYbits and you're having a great day, but then you get a stomach ache and a headache, and then you think, well, that was weird, and then you take it the next day and the same thing happens, and then you said it can be like a week. Like, how would you know that what if it was just not working with your body? Like, what if your stomach was hurting for another reason? Like, how would you know the difference?
I'm not sure if I understand the question. Spirulina, you will notice that you have more energy. And we generally suggest people start with spirulina because it is universally used for newborns to, 100-year-old people. There's never been a single negative outcome with spirulina in any country for any reason, anywhere, at any time. And you will notice that you just aren't as hungry and you aren't as fatigued. So in the 10 years that we've been in business, I've never had anybody have a negative outcome, even with our spirulina. So there is no reason why you would have a problem with spirulina. The only reason I mentioned chlorella was because of the possible detox. Now, if you have maybe some stomach distress for whatever reason with either of them, although it's never happened with spirulina. Generally, the first thing I suggest to people is they drink more water, because they both have very high amounts of protein, and your body needs water to process protein. So that's probably, in many cases, if there's a problem, that's usually what it is. I don't know. I don't really have an answer for you because we've never had any other problems.
Okay, yeah, but you were just saying with the chlorella. With the detox and the headache and stomach ache, and so I was just like, okay, well, how would you differentiate that? Like, how is that something that is on the packaging, like people would know before they took it, right? I'm just wondering, like, for listeners that might need that detox and go through that, and like say, okay, we'll stick it out for a week, and if problems still persist, then maybe consult somebody.
Well, a detox can take months. It depends on how polluted your body is. And so we talk about the product. There is some language about detox on the website, but there's only so much room we can't explain all the impacts of detox. That's your responsibility as your job to learn what you're going to do. Now, you only get the detox benefits from chlorella if you take enough of it. If you only want immune support, take 5 or 10 tablets a day. It won't detox you because there's not enough of it. So that will give you the immune support. And right now, with COVID blowing up again, we all need a lot of immune support. And algae has all of the nutrients that your immune system needs. And if you don't give your immune system what it needs to defend you, it can't defend you. It's really that simple. And people are not aware that their immune system is primarily in their gut, because that's where all the cells that your immune system creates are made. They make things like T cells and B cells and killer cells and white blood cells. Those are made in your gut using the nutrients that you consume. And so if you do not give your immune system, the nutrients it needs to defend you, it can't. It's like getting your police force and putting blindfolds on them. It just doesn't work. That's why people who are elderly and who have a pre-existing condition tend to be the ones getting sickest with COVID, because we know the elderly don't eat very well. And if you're already sick, your immune system's already working overtime. So with that, Thanksgiving and the holidays upon us, the best thing you could possibly do for yourself and for your family is to build your own immune system so that you won't get sick. And if you do happen to get COVID, then you will recover from it in a very speedy fashion. And the easiest way to do that is with algae, particularly chlorella algae, because it has all the nutrients your immune system needs. And everybody in the world, quite honestly, should be taking chlorella algae every single day. In Japan, they do not take vitamins. They only take chlorella algae. And that's where the industry is based and has been there. It's a multi-billion-dollar industry. It's been there for 50 years. By the way, the Japanese have the lowest cancer rates, the best longevity, incredible hair and skin. And I attribute a large part of it to chlorella because they all take it every single day. You can't argue with success. I mean, the problem in America is that no one has explained what these algae do for you and why they work. And that's why we do, and I do what we do. I spent a lot of time on research, and I spent a lot of time on podcasts, helping people understand what this is and why you need it. And it doesn't get any simpler than opening your mouth. You don't have to cook this stuff. You don't have to do anything to it. And it's good for every single age group that exists. So it's amazing if you just give yourself a chance to try it out.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm really loving talking to founders that are using different parts of algae and from Japan. Masami, I don't know if you know them. They have a shampoo and conditioner, and they use makabu, which is a plant in the oceans over there that they're harvesting. So my next question was really about the crops. Like, where is this all is this all sourced from Japan?
No, we don't get, we grow ours in Taiwan, which is a totally different country, totally different water supply. And up until the Fukushima disaster, I would have said that the chlorella from Japan was very high quality. But I don't want to scare anybody, but we just don't know about the radiation situation because of the Fukushima disaster that occurred there. And they're still trying to clean it up. Taiwan has always been known worldwide for having the highest quality, both spirulina and chlorella, has the highest standards. The company that grows it for us has been doing it for 50 years. They're a $50 million company. This is not small stuff. This is not some little thing in your backyard. These farms are 5 to 10 times the size of a football stadium. These are very sophisticated crops. And it's so funny that people still, they think of algae as pond scum, and it's like you have no idea. It's very sophisticated agricultural crop. Most of the algae in Japan, they only grow chlorella. In China, they grow spirulina and chlorella. A lot of it's grown in India, but we chose Taiwan because it is world renowned for having the highest standards. And they're grown organically. We have the organic symbol for both of them, but we only have the USDA symbol for the chlorella here in America, but they are both grown organically. The thing with algae is that, what you put in well, it's like anything. If you want high quality, you're going to have to pay a little extra for it. If the work has been done behind the scenes, then you'll be able to tell. You will be able to know that it's high quality. And for us, that was everything. Quality was everything. Quality and safety. So our algae is grown in triple filtered spring mountain water. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. And the importance of that is because algae absorbs whatever's in the water. So if the water doesn't start clean, it's not going to end up clean. It's not going to end up well at all. We are also, I think, the only algae company that I'm aware of that does not use high heat when we dry ours, because we're not a high volume producer. A high heat kills the enzymes and it deteriorates the nutrition. So our algae is still raw. And in fact, the spirulina is also a live food. So most other companies, the enzymes are dead. You need enzymes to help with proper digestion. And there's about 60,000 processes in your body that require enzymes. And then we don't put any binders in our algae to keep when we press them into the little tablets. They're teeny tiny tablets. I don't know if you can see that. But each one of those tablets has the same nutrition as an entire plate of vegetables. Most other companies put coatings or binders or something. We don't do any of that. So it's 100% algae. There's nothing else. And then, we test them for toxins. We test them for metals in Taiwan. And then we do another set of tests here in the United States to prove that there aren't any toxins or metals, and that the algae, the nutrients are exactly what we say they are, because anybody could fake anything, right? So we're very proud of the purity and the quality that we offer people. But it requires extra work. Even with the chlorella, remember I said it has that hard cellulose wall? Well, it has to be cracked at production, otherwise your body wouldn't be able to absorb the nutrients. And almost everybody else uses the original technique, which is to tumble the chlorella with glass beads, but the glass heats up and lead leaks into the chlorella from the hot glass. So when I started the company, I knew about that and decided, well, we can't have lead in our algae. So we found a more expensive, more modern technique to crack the chlorella, which is we pass it through a sound chamber, and it's the vibrations that crack the chlorella, not the glass. So we don't have any lead, we don't have any deterioration of the nutrition, and that puts us in a whole nother category. So it's whether you're buying Gucci or algae, there's different levels of quality, and we pride ourselves on being the best. So we're the Gucci of algae, I guess.
Gucci of algae. I love that. So I really want to invite you to take part in our Clean Beauty celebration. It's virtual this year, of course. It's next Sunday. But all of the Clean Beauty founders will be there, and we're all doing a gift exchange. And I think that the Beauty Bits are such a great one to share with them if they haven't tried it. So I'm going to send you my info so that we can get you to send some over, so we can add them to the gift boxes that we're sending to all the founders. I wrote down some of my favorite quotes. Algae has the nutrients your immune system has all the nutrients your immune system needs. And then I like your body needs water to process protein. I think that's really important for us to understand. I drink a lot of water, and I always tell people, like, my skin looks good because I drink a lot of water. And I think that's extra important for this as well. Well, thank you so much, Catherine. This was so informative, and I can't wait to have you back, because I feel like we're just scratching the surface.
Yeah.
And this was supposed to be like 15 minutes, but we're like 40 minutes in, and I'm just like loving it. I could listen to you all day. Does anyone tell you look kind of like Lisa? You remind me of Lisa Kudrow, like from Friends.
Yeah. I used to get that years ago. Not recently, so maybe that's good.
Well, I love that she's one of the people I kind of look up to, who doesn't look like a completely different person from all the fake, like, injections and surgery and stuff like a lot of people do. And she's aging so beautifully. And so anyways, you remind me of her. I love it.
Thank you. Well,
favorite movie or favorite show growing up was Friends. So well, anyways, I really appreciate this. I love you and your company and your brand and your mission. And I love the answers that you gave to some of the questions I've been getting about the ENERGYbits, and just sharing it over the years, because I've tried them. I think I saw you guys at Beauty, Indie Beauty.
Indie Beauty, yeah.
I mean, I've seen you guys around, and it's just kind of interesting to watch you evolve as well and grow bigger and reach more people. And I'm so happy to be a part of that journey, and super honored that you are on the podcast, on the Clean Beauty podcast today. And for anyone that wants to get in touch with you specifically, do they go find ENERGYbits, or do you like have an email you want to give out, or?
Well, probably not going to give it. Well, first of all, I want to let people know if they want to buy some, they can go to energybits.com, and we have a 20% discount code, which is Clean Beauty CM, Clean Beauty CM, all one word, and that will give you 20% off whatever you choose to purchase. Now, if you're not interested in buying a big bag, because there's 1,000 tablets, they're normally 120, but the discount brings it down to 96. You can go to Amazon and you can buy them for $4, the little single pouches that have 30 tablets in them.
That's so affordable. I love it. $4, you guys.
Yeah. And then, if you have any questions, probably email us at customercare@energybits.com, or even better, just, follow us on Instagram. We have two handles on Instagram. One is @ENERGYbits, and the other one is @BeautyBits. And we're also Facebook and Twitter is at ENERGYbits. But I do a lot of research. I'm also the Chief Scientific Officer. So there's a ton of research I've done on just about everything from women's health, mental health, skin health, bone health. Because I started the company because of my sister. So I'm very interested in women's health. So we'd love to do more. We just, as I said, we just finished, I just finished redesigning new packaging. It's not even on the website, but there's these gorgeous canisters.
I love that.
Aren't these adorable? So you can shape the stuff out of, yeah, we won't even have them till next year. These are my prototypes. Aren't they cute? So we'll eventually be, it's taken a while to get things rolling, but we're rolling now. I think 2021 will be our big year. So hope to see you at, Cosmoprof and Indie Beauty again and all those other great places.
Hey, well, congratulations. It's so exciting. And say hi to everybody on Facebook.
Hi. All right. Come and see us at energybits.com.
Okay. Talk to you soon. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot. Take care. Bye.